Hello, welcome to the weather update. It is 9:30 on November 22nd, 2022. And yeah, rested a lot. I was pretty tired last night, and I know it was a really nice day today. Another nice day. Plenty of sun. Just some high clouds drifting off to the north. That's all there was. But I didn't have much in it. I tried to go for a little hike today. I made it for about an hour. I lasted about 1 hour in the Pine Barrens, just in Deer Park. Of course, I wanted to go further out east, but I couldn't. And I started to take a video, and then I realized my camera battery. I forgot to charge it last night because I was so tired from all that hiking. It was just yesterday. It was very exhausting. People don't understand. They don't understand what emotional exhaustion is, and you combine that with physical exhaustion. Well, anyway, let's get to the weather right now, and you'll see here some of those passing high clouds off to the north. But other than that, clear skies over our area today. Was a lot milder than yesterday. I think it got up to 50. I think we're going to check in a moment. Let's see. West Hampton already radiating down, 27 degrees at West Hampton. It's already cooling off there. Islip is at 40, and we're dealing with upper 30s to around 40 in most other areas. Temperatures will drop tonight because we have light winds and clear skies. City holding on to the heat, of course, mid 40s, and then also you see the radiational cooling taking place also in New Jersey as well. You see some 20s already over there. 32 Coil Field. Lakehurst is still 35, but when those winds drop, I think if the winds don't keep, are calm tonight or fairly light, then we're going to see that radiational cooling again. Throw the dew points in here. You'll see again we have dry air in place. Dew points still in the 20s and some 30s. So still got dry air in place, clear skies, light winds. That's a recipe for radiational cooling. And thus, I think we'll be by free. We'll see. We'll definitely get below freezing, I think, by morning, I think. In a lot of areas, unless the wind picks up. Let's go look at our highs for the day. And you can see, up to 50 degrees at Islip, 50 at West Hampton. Most areas got up to 50. New Jersey, even warmer, mid-50s over there. There was a bit of a sea breeze on Long Island that developed that helped keep the temperatures down. If we go to the lows here next, 25 at West Hampton was the low this morning, so it actually did get some radiational cooling last night. Down to 30, around 30 in a lot of areas on Long Island. I see a 28 on the North Shore there in Old Brookville. That's a cold spot city. Stayed above freezing in the upper 30s, and in New Jersey, we see the Pine Barrens area again dropping down into the mid 20s. So it was pretty chilly last night, and even some areas in North Jersey getting into the teens. We'll go back to the observations. We'll look at some of these observations for a moment here. Islip will show you what the day was like. Show you what the day is like. So you can see here, temperatures got up into the, near around 50 there. You can see we had west to northwest winds, and then they shifted more to the southwest. That enabled more of a sea breeze, and especially if you were on the South Shore, you definitely felt that difference if you were right on the South Shore. Let's take a look at West Islip, for instance, because when I went from Deer Park to Babylon, I noticed it was substantially cooler in Babylon, where it was in the mid-40s versus around 50 in Deer Park. So let's go look at the weather map, and you will see what we have here. High pressure and control. We have a low that's kind of stalled offshore. There was record rain in Florida, by the way. They got a month's worth of rain in a day in Miami, which resulted in a lot of flooding down there. So still dealing with this boundary over there. We have this little weak, it looks like it's almost stationary here, weak system over here. That's what's causing all the clouds to the north, I guess. And you can see a little bit of a stationary warm front over north of us. And then on the west coast, you can see the next storm system there. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I changed it. No, day one. This is the next storm system. Actually, you can move this along. So this kind of shows you what's going to happen. Here's day two. High pressure stays in control. And Thanksgiving should also be dry, but you'll notice off to the west, all that unsettled weather. That's something we're going to deal with as we head toward the weekend. So let's go to the weather map now, and we will the weather models, and we'll go ahead and look at your upper air flow. And as you see here, kind of a zonal flow right now. So that's why we have kind of moderate conditions, but you can see there's another trough, another very unusually shaped trough there coming together there. Just really unusual shape, but because we're on the right side of that, that means we're going to have above normal temperatures. And you see the trough just kind of collapses in on itself. But that will bring a chance for some rain. It looks like Sunday is going to be the day now that we're going to see the soaking rain. And you can see just a little bit of a trough, but not. You can see generally next week some gentle ridging going on. And then as we head toward the middle of the month here, you could start to see some troughiness, especially as you get toward later in the forecast period. You start to see some troughiness there in the east. But other than that, because of that, when we look at that, and then we go and we look at this, back this up here to the 6 to 10 day outlook, you can see we're near normal to above normal, and on the 8 to 14, we're above normal on the temperatures. So kind of you get to see what's going on here with the ridges that we're going to have. So that cold blast that we had, well, for those who didn't like it, it will moderate some, and we won't have to deal with that again. So you can see kind of a zonal flow, slight ridging, and then we have that trough for the weekend that brings us the rain and some cool air behind that trough, but it won't be as cold as what we dealt with. And then some more gentle ridging to some zonal flow to start December, and then that right there looks like a very deep trough. Of course, this is how many days out, so you know a lot can change. Just take it with a grain of salt. But it is trying to bring some more cold air, and so hopefully at some point in December we will get into some cold air. But you know the way the GFS can be sometimes, always kind of putting it off, you know, like the carrot and the stick kind of thing. So let's go look at the surface now. Actually, let's go look at our temperature anomaly chart before I start with that. And you will see here that for tomorrow, just slightly above normal, not really very much, just slightly above normal for Thanksgiving. We get above normal significantly on Friday, and then Saturday and especially Sunday, that's when that surge of warm air comes in with that rain system. And then once that leaves, you'll see behind it, we just see temperatures still a little bit above normal on. Again, because you sort of have that zonal flow. There's more warmth next week. It's not until we get until much later in the period. You can see all the warmth we're going to have to deal with here. Until we get toward Tuesday, maybe. That's when we start seeing the temperatures drop. It's December. That's a ways away. That is most likely subject to change. But it's trying to bring some cold air, but toward the end. And so it's always toward the end, so it's hard to say. There's too many variables, you know, when you're looking that far ahead, which is why I don't really do long-range forecasting here. I usually just look at the week ahead, but we will, you know, show you at least what's to come in December. And unfortunately, for those who really want to have some cold weather, you're going to have to wait a little bit. So let's go look at the surface map now. So surface map shows high pressure in control for us, so fair weather, sunny weather. Not only tomorrow, but Thursday, too. That high starts moving offshore. And then for Friday, this is when we have that system approach here. But right now, GFS keeps us dry for most of the day. It only gives us slight chances of showers in the evening. Then at week high, tries to build in for Saturday. But that's when behind that, that's when the next storm system comes in and brings us that heavy rain. It looks like earlier Sunday it would be. And then we have high pressure building in. But again, the air behind that isn't that cold. With behind that high pressure, and the next week would look dry until we get toward the next system. Just moving it along, you see some high pressure. So at least you're not in a rainy pattern, but there are some chances for rain. And then this would be that really strong. That was like a really blustery wind for that day. Look at how tight those isobars are. But again, that is a ways away. And like I said, subject to change that far out. So let's, and I could show you the European model as well. But I think this fairly, you know, the European doesn't go as far. There are some differences, however, when it comes to Saturday. It is a much stronger high pressure system for Saturday on the European, I noticed. So that would lead to probably more likely having a sunny day on Saturday, and maybe a little cooler. If a high pressure is stronger, maybe we have the temperatures a little lower, maybe. All right, for Saturday. So let's take a closer look at our area, and we'll go to the HRRR model. And obviously, there's not going to be much to see in terms of precipitation here. I can roll this. Oh, this goes all the way up to Thursday, and there's nothing there. All right. So let's go look at, and again, it would be Friday that we have that chance of showers. But it's just a chance of showers. It's not going to be like a soaking rain. That is more likely on Sunday. So let's go look at your dew points and wind flows here. And we'll see here that we have that the We have a light westerly flow. Now, if the winds do pick up, it just seems to show that there's going to be wind tonight. So we'll have to see what happens if that radiational cooling can actually occur or the wind is going to blow it away. Sometimes what will happen is, especially in the Pine Barrens or in a low-lying area, the wind just can't get in there, and you have this dome of cold air that just kind of sits there and blocks the wind from coming. So we could still see that radiational cooling. But as far as tomorrow goes, the difference tomorrow is we have northwest winds most of the day. They stay northwest and become north by the nighttime. And then by Thursday, we start seeing a northeast wind becoming easterly. And then by Friday, that's when it starts becoming southerly. All right. So looking at your temperatures, HRRR model says we're not going to hit freezing tonight, or it has a few isolated patches. So a lot of us maybe won't hit freezing. We'll probably see 30s. But I still think the Pine Barrens will probably get down to freezing, I think. They're already below freezing in West Hampton, so they've already done it. Tomorrow, I think it'll be a little warmer than today even. I think we'll have temperatures in the mid-50s in New Jersey, low 50s for Long Island. And then tomorrow night, we see the temperatures drop off again. Skies clear, light winds, dry air in place. So I think we'll see that radiational cooling. A lot of us get into the 30s. Pine Barrens could be below freezing. And then for Thursday, a little bit cooler with that northeast wind, and I think we'll see mid to upper 40s on Thursday, with the 50s being suppressed into the southern third of New Jersey there. All right. Moving ahead, looking at the GFS, which is what we'll do now, because that's what we have to use to go ahead now. I'll show you what happens as we get into Friday. So Friday, you can see that south flow starting to come in. That brings in the more moisture, right? That's what brings the chances for rain. But you'll see here on the GFS, Saturday we have this high passing off to the north. Again, the European looks different with this. But this will still keep us dry and a little bit cooler with the north wind there. And this is the dew points we're looking at here. That's the moisture that's going to fuel the heavy rain, the soaker of a rain storm for early Sunday. And then behind it, by afternoon, we have the west winds take over. Gusty west winds, dry air comes back in, and then here we are for Monday, and the dry air is back in place, 2 points in the 20s. All right, so that should mean more sunshine. So let's go look at your temperatures here, and you'll see here as we head into Friday, you see the temperatures come up a little more here, probably back into the 50s. Saturday they drop off a little bit again with that front, so probably upper 40s. And then here we are. Look at that. Look at that really warm air. We could shoot up to upper 60s to near 70 very briefly on Sunday. Very briefly. And then it's going to be a warm. And then you have the west winds take over, but it's still going to be warm. And I still think Sunday could wind up seeing temperatures up into the, probably around 60 for a good part of the day. And then they don't really drop off all that much for Monday. We're still dealing with upper 40s, which is around normal for this time of the year, just slightly above normal. But you'll see, again, where temperatures, if you're looking for some cold air, you're going to have to wait a while. And I guess you have to go all the way. Look at this, another warm day there, and then one warm day here, and then that front comes through, and then the cold air comes in for Tuesday and Wednesday. All right. But the timing of that could change. It has changed already in some of the models. It's already kind of delayed it off a little bit. So let's go to the skies next. We'll use the GFS just as a rough guideline here. Tomorrow we should have mostly sunny skies, though it is showing some clouds to the north. Thursday should also be mostly sunny, and then Friday we're back in the clouds again. So let's go to we can go to the RGM. Let's do the RGM. That's fine. So you see those high clouds well off to the north. They're not going to, actually those might not even be high clouds. They might be mid-level or even low-level clouds. Maybe a little lake effect. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any lake effect up there, but it does show some more clouds. That's well to the north. It should be mostly sunny. And then for Thursday, it's trying to show some fog perhaps developing in some of these upstate valleys. For Thursday, we should have mostly sunny skies, and some cirrus maybe tries to work into the area late. Friday, that's when we'll see the thicker clouds come in, and that's when we'll have, again, this is the RGM. Actually, it goes a little further out, so I want to look at the precipitation here, because this is a little higher resolution than some of the other models. So you see it does bring a chance of some rain in later Friday. That's how much it would be. Probably not much by the looks of it. That's one model, and then I don't usually use that precipitation. There's also the NAM 12. Actually, I could use the NAM 12 too to show you precipitation. So let's do that. Showing you Friday here. So Friday, this is the risk of rain. NAM does bring in a period of rain. NAM is a lot wetter. Of course, that's its bias around the afternoon hours, and then kind of lingers it around until later in the afternoon to early evening, and then it's out of here. I really hope the NAM is wrong, but the NAM has that stronger high, like the European does, and therefore there's more moisture with this front and a stronger front that comes through. But that would be our next weather subject. Our next chance of wet weather is Friday, Black Friday. But again, we have 2 beautiful days up ahead, and Thanksgiving will be beautiful too. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Thank you for watching.